Welcome back to All the Crackers in the Box. Well, not a lot to report for being that I put out a video yesterday. Been working on my projects. Today was a big house cleaning day, so I only got a little bitty done, but a lot more than if I hadn't done anything. And I was just on Pinterest while everybody's being quiet in the house. And I have my next two projects at the very beginning, planning stages. So, may want to talk about color. What colors am I going to use? What textures do I want? What sizes do I want? What size of yarn? So, thanks for joining me today. Let's get to it. Welcome back to All the Crackers in the Box. It's kind of a more relaxed video today. I'm going to give you an update on my current projects and maybe pull up the tablet and show you what's up next. I've got a couple things that it's going to be quite challenging that I've just picked out like not even 3 minutes ago. I've got the patterns already, went to Ravelry and downloaded one of them. The other one was just a simple schematic already out there, so mixing 2 or 3 different elements and color picking out of my glorious stash, which is going to be just fine because a lot of it is going to, 2 of them that I'm planning are granny squares, so one's going to be quite challenging. This one I'm kind of intimidated by, but I have a feeling that once I learn it, it's not going to be so bad. And the other one I think is going to be just a lot of fun, and that's probably going to be the one that messes me up the most. Okay, anyways, let's take a look at my progress for the last 3 or 4 days since I last recorded and showed what I've been up to. This is my kerchief dress from being made with a Sheeple's Whirl. This is all I've got left from my big double skein there. I had like a skein and a half, skein and 3/4, like a really big amount of it, so a lot more than I would have from a regular sized one. This is my huge, beautiful granny square. So it's gonna be on the side like this, and there's gonna be 2 panels, and it comes up to about here, I think is where I'm gonna put it. And I can do a strap, or I can do it a bit lower. It all depends. I'm going to have to play around with it once the other one's done. I may just pause at the end of this row when I get back to my stitch to the end, and then hold for now while I figure out how I want to do the top. I may want to do a couple more rows. I may not. I don't know, because this from here all the way down already is past my kneecap. I am not a very tall woman. So being that I'm not very big, and there's a lot of yarn here, gorgeous yarn by the way, that is just such a beautiful colorway. I think it looks better worked up than it did in the actual cake, and that's pretty unusual for me. Usually I'm the opposite, where I think a cake is gorgeous and then I try working with it and I'm just not overly crazy. But I've only ever really used, this is my second cake for myself, so it's a bit of a different ball game. Like making something for somebody else, you're pretty like, okay, I can deal with this. My middle daughter, I made her a shawl cardigan, so it's a bit of a mix, cross between the two. It's beautiful, gorgeous, love it. I actually used one of these, so this is my second one of these, and as soon as I saw it, I had to have it because I knew I needed to make her something else in that because she fell in love with the yarn. Baby Mandela can't think of the colorway off the top of my head. I know I have it in a few videos, so it's okay. If you want to look, it's there somewhere. But it's pretty common. It's not an unusual color at all. Anyways, oh, Dream World. Dream World, that's what it is. Dream World. I knew dream something. Anyways, so kind of lost my train of thought thinking of a baby Mandela name. And so I made her the shawl, and my problem with that shawl, which turned out just gorgeous, I had to frog a lot of it because of the gray. My last one had a lot more gray than this one. The hot pinks, the white is totally fine. The gray's got to be minimal. She is not a gray girl. She is pink, 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 followed by purple. Third favorite color, rainbow. So gray is flat, it's boring. She avoids it. When she's picking out clothes, it's definitely not. Blacks, grays, whites, they are just not there for her. She really gravitates towards pinks and purples. Those are her colors. That is her vibe. I'm not going to sit there and try to change who she is. So I was making that up, and it started in a lot of gray, and I had to actually take it out and start further into the color, what do they call it? Color, not color coding. That's something else completely, like totally weird. But basically you take a color out of your cake and put it in later, or just completely remove it. Anyways, with this dress, I haven't had to do anything like that. I don't want to have to do anything like that. So I think I might just pause where I am. Not necessarily stop forever, but I might just pause just to size it up with the other one. Kind of pin them together, see how they fit, see what kind of sleeves I want to do. I might want to do something that covers my shoulders, being that I burn very easily on my shoulders and my chest area. So I like to keep them as covered as possible when I'm out in the sun. So I kind of want to rock this dress out a few times. I think it's going to be really super cute. Probably wear some shorts under it and a little tank top just to keep it meshy the way it is. I mean, it's not like a crazy see-through, but it will have its spots. Yeah, I'm really in love with the whole thing. I'm just really excited. I consider this to be one of my more expensive yarns, kind of like these guys here, my Dolce Cashmere's from Hobie. These ones are super expensive, and so is this one. So these are my expensive fancy yarns, and I'm using them quickly. I've only had this whirl since January, which I got a really good deal off Facebook Marketplace. And wow, to that lady again, hats off, thank you so much. I am going to use every little piece you gave me. I've already used up some of it. Okay, anyways, getting way too excited about yarn again. God, myself. Alright, so my next project is super exciting. I have been dying to get into fancy granny squares. I'm pretty okay with a regular granny square. It's not the end of the world. I can wing it. I can do it. I can just, poof, no problem. Easy peasy. Like, I don't want to think, so I work on my pink panels. No big deal. So right now I am reaching into this big bag here. Oh, got the same color. Now, I have 4 colors, 4 different greens that I'm going to be using for this project. So, this is one. And no, I haven't even started putting in my ends. Now, they are roughly about the same size, but because the greens are slightly different, like this is a red heart and it's quite thick, much older red heart, but they're pretty close to the same size, and I can stretch these a little. We have these 2 colors. Alright. These 2 colors. On that one. And I have one more bright one too that's coming up. I didn't want to go too crazy, so I've got this nice sagey green, I've got this bright lime green, and I've got this more Christmassy green. And then, because the centers were so difficult, I had to use 2 colors. You gonna focus? Thank you. That'd be awesome. So each one is slightly different. I believe this one has like the lightest yellow. And I did these 2 in the 2 brighter yellows. So the next set is going to have this kind of center too. And I'm using the Baby Loves, which is my softer one, mixing it with either my Red Heart. This is a Super Saver, good old classic Super Saver, which is probably going to be used quite a bit in the next 2 projects. I just have this feeling that this one is going to go to a lot of granny squares. I do have a big one as well, so there's 3 projects I can think of. Yes, 3 different ones with 3 very different types of granny squares that I want to make something. One is going to be a small sweater for a tiny person, and 2 are bags for a couple of very nice ladies. One's going to be for Christmas and one's going to be a birthday gift. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. So the one for Christmas is going to be the very last one I get to, on top of starting to really hit hard on that Ninja Turtle blanket for my husband, because I'm really hoping to get that one done. I'm halfway through the first panel. I got myself all Twitter pated and twisted around. Not Twitter pated. I'm not Twitter pated. It's not spring. All twisted around. I'm a little confused on a few things. So, yeah. It is going to be a work in progress. Just like everything else, you know. Live and learn. But corner to corner is something I really enjoy. I've done quite a few corner to corners. So, anyways, I'm making a bag. It's going to have 24 of these bad boys, so it's a fairly large bag, and I am going to line it. And the last color is more of a minty, very close to chocolate chip mint. But yeah, it's kind of weird how this one is just, it's a medium 4, but it is so stiff, and I don't know. Like, I know this is, these 2 are the same size. And that one seems to be just a smidgen, like the tiniest bit. Almost bigger, almost. But we'll see how it plays out. I'm sure it's going to come out just looking just fine. I'm overly confident about stuff like that. So far, I have this great big bag full. These 2 colors are totally done. This one, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5 is almost done. So I've got 5 on the hook, so I have 1 more after that. And then that's 6 of each color, which is exactly what I want to do. So I have the right amount. And I'm doing one that is larger, and I'm going to do the envelope, fold on it, and turn it into sort of a wallet, little grab bag, whatever you want to call it. Put your headphones in it, put a card or 2, whatever you want, some change when you're at the farmer's market, whatever you need to do, whatever works for the person that I'm giving it for. I know it'll be used for sure. So that's super exciting. I'm using a number 4, and I just picked it up a few minutes ago. And I may have to take a nail file it down for some reason. I used this a couple hours ago and it didn't have this, but I can really feel a bit of a bump. Don't worry, I have had this happen to me a few times with a couple different ones. Either that or I'm losing my, oh no, it's my grip. Okay, I got rid of it. The grip's starting to slide on it because these are not the most expensive ones, but I really like these. These feel really nice. They're cushy. Feel really good. I really feel very relaxed when I'm using them, and it doesn't really stress my hand out. So I know I see people using fancy ones, and some of the bigger ones and stuff like that. I don't know if I'd like them, being that I haven't tried them. So maybe sometime I might down the road, but right now I'm pretty satisfied with what I have. Not to mention my vintage ones, which are basically the same thing, just without these. So that's fine. Anyway, now I'm just mad thinking about colors here. Okay, so one of them, I really went through Pinterest. I really took the time, searched up all sorts of stuff. And one of them I was looking at is a tulip. And there's like many different ways you could do tulips. You could do little side tulips, you can do your granny square, and then you can do an applique, which was really delicate and pretty, but at the same time not what I wanted. I don't want to have it take the chance of it pulling and coming off. It's just going to be a little bit much for that. I don't think that's going to work for the app, for this. For something else, yes. For this particular project, no. So I did find a nice one that has some stitches I don't think I'm really familiar with. So I'll be learning something new, and that's exciting, really exciting. And if I remember correctly, the person that I'm making this for has a real love for yellow tulips. So this might be another project with a lot of yellow in it, which is absolutely astounding, because I mean, how often do you use yellow, really? I mean, it's sort of a highlighting color. It's not one that I see in a lot of projects. So I'll probably just do a couple different kinds up with the different shades of yellow. Maybe throw in a couple of the more regular colored ones. Maybe I'll do an orange one. Orange tulips, right? I'll look it up. I'll look at some pictures of tulips and go from there and try to figure it out. But they're pretty good size, lots of looping, and it has a green bottom. So I'll probably maybe include a picture. Maybe not this episode, maybe soon, because I haven't quite decided if I'm 100% going with it. But that's the one I've downloaded, and I got it for free on Ravelry, which is always really nice. And the other one is a pansy. Pansies, for this particular person, is their favorite flower. So I'm going with a theme here. Everybody's getting something with their favorite flowers, and I'm trying to make it more to the bags. And I'm trying to figure out something to put in the bags, so there's at least a little bit of something. One person might be getting a snood, and another one is probably going to get a market bag to take to the farmer's market kind of thing, like produce. Just trying to figure things out as I go along and come up with interesting ideas, because I do have a lot of yarn to work with in a bit of time. So if I get going now, I should be able to get right through it. Very soon, in the next couple weeks, I'm going to be starting up on my daughter's presents for their birthdays at the beginning of September. So that's going to be the fun part, because their stuff is usually super darn cute. And they both really like stuffed animals. So be on the lookout for some amigurumis. I say it correctly now. I'm so proud of myself. Anyways, I am going to bid you adieu. I have some colors to start planning and some projects to work on, because yeah, got stuff to do again. Anyways, thanks for joining me here at All the Crackers in the Box, and I hope you're having a wonderful rest of your day.